The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all small businesses in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but there is help to move your business forward. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is available to assist entrepreneurs and small businesses. The VISBDC is the territory's #1 resource for small businesses and is sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and provides one-on-one advising, business education training, and technical assistance at no cost. Attend workshops by experts from both the public and private sectors. From idea generation to exit strategies, the staff at the VISBDC are ready to assist you. So don't wait. Call, email, or visit them on the web at www.visbdc.org and Facebook, or simply download their mobile app on the Apple or Google Play Store. Just search VISBDC. Discover how they can help your business grow and succeed.
Welcome to the VISBDC's continuation of the USVI Resiliency Series. Today's webinar will focus on effective marketing in 2022. Today's presenters represent the Time Capsule Media Group. They are a company that aims to bring quality content from the Caribbean to the rest of the world while inspiring our community. It is their long-term goal to become the most influential media company in the Caribbean while headquartered in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. They provide services in the areas of media campaigns, web design and development, event planning and production, as well as video productions. Just a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed by the presenting team either in the chat or later during the question and answer segment. A copy of the presentation is available upon email request to info@visbdc.org. We encourage you to take a few minutes after this training to fill out the survey that lets us know how we are doing. Beginning with the CEO, Mr. Heath George, the floor is yours.
All right. Good day, everyone. How you guys doing? My name is Heath George. We're excited to be here today. So, what we have to talk about, marketing in the USVI 2022. All right, that's what we're going to talk about today. So first of all, let's go into what is marketing. I'm going to kind of just run you through what the agenda is today. Start with what is marketing, some of the facts that you must know about marketing, strategies to market in the USVI, especially creating content for marketing, website and email marketing, social media marketing we'll touch later down, and of course, where do you go from here? And then we'll have the questions for you. All right, so what is marketing? Now, any form of communication delivered through traditional and digital channels is considered marketing, and the purpose of marketing is to raise awareness for your business or your personal brand. And there's a difference between a business and a personal brand, but your personal brand can become your business. But we'll touch on that in a few. Now, different types of marketing that you could utilize is website marketing, where you create a website, you market it, social media marketing, which is like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, YouTube, LinkedIn. We all know the various types that are out there. Content marketing, which is different from social media marketing. Now, some people get the two confused a lot, but the difference is you're creating content and you're marketing that content. Yes, you do it on social media, but you could also do it on television, radio, newspaper. All that is content that you're creating. So we're going to go into the differentiation between the two and why the two are so important. Email marketing, which is one of the oldest methods of marketing since the digital age began, but is still as effective today as ever. And of course, search engine, which you go into like SEO, and getting that connects to your website as well, but it's the way to advertise on SEO to get people to your website. Now, here are some must-know facts that you must know. Now, for sure, you must develop a personal brand for your business. And even if you're an individual, a personal brand is different from your business itself. Because you have to understand, each business has its own life, its own identity. Heck, you have your own EIN number, your own social security number for your business. So you must be able to teach your business, show the world who you are. Just like how you have your own personal Facebook account, you have your own personal business account. Because they're two different things. They have its own life, it has its own creative side, it has its own look, it has its own tone. And all those things correspond to developing your personal brand. Now, 60% of marketers create at least one piece of content per day. Why do they do this? Now, you have to understand, you're building your personal brand for your business or for your own personal brand, whether you're an influencer or something of the sort. But you have to understand that building that, putting content out every single day helps to grow. Just like how you feed yourself and you feed children, your business needs to eat. Two things it eats, money and content. Building your personal brand is something that you need to feed that vitamins. That's the vitamins for your business. Your content that you put out there that builds that personal brand. That one's on community customers see at least 5,000 ads per day. Just scrolling through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, who name it. Even on television, even on the radio, you're listening to Spotify or Apple Music, you hear the ads as they come on, even SoundCloud, you know? And because of that, 30% of millennials engage with a brand. And you have to understand as well that brands have to have an identity and something they stand for, because especially in this day and age, in 2022, people support a brand that they believe in, that believes in something. So again, definitely make sure that you show that your brand is for something, believes in something, and has an identity. Now, here's some of the strategies that you could use in 2022 for marketing. Here, I'm going to list them through and kind of give a brief explanation, because some of these things we're going to cover a lot more further along in the presentation. Pay-per-click advertising, which is when you post an ad up, people click on it. Now, when you go into Google, or sometimes you go on a page, sometimes it's a newspaper or an online news article or blog, and you would see an ad, and you could click on it, and it takes you to that page. That's called pay-per-click. You know, it's not too expensive, but it's one of those strategies that you could use, and it's effective. Search engine optimization, which is SEO, which you talked about earlier, where you put your business out there on the web on different search engines, Google, Yahoo, Bing, Firefox, you name it, you put it there, and people could find you by, when customers come, they leave a comment, they leave a 5-star rating, whatever the rating that they give you, that boosts your SEO. Letting people go to your website, bringing traffic to your website, builds your SEO, and people, when they search your name, they're able to find this. So let's say you sold cakes, right? But you sold cakes specifically to children. Your target market is children. And we spoke about building your brand identity. If you target in children as that's your customer base, you want to create ads that cater to children, birthday parties, baby showers, whatever the case may be. And you say, okay, hey, let me put this in there. Or things like cakes for children, it will show up. If people are searching for birthday parties for kids, your name is going to show up, because nobody has a birthday party without getting a birthday cake. So those are the different things that you need to make sure you utilize when doing your SEO. Email marketing, one of the oldest forms, but still effective. Someone comes to your website, they search for something, and let's say they didn't finish checkout. You know, they were looking at this item. Your algorithm on your website, which we're going to go into further along in the presentation, says, okay, hey, they were looking at this. They probably put it in their cart, but they didn't finish purchasing. Again, people get busy, things happen, they may have to run out to deal with something or jump into a meeting, didn't get to finish the purchase. You send an email out to that customer like, hey, I saw you were looking at this. Just a reminder, you could purchase this. When they purchase, you also need to follow up with that. That is the power of email marketing. You follow up on it and say, hey, thank you for your purchase. Here's a 10, 15% offer. Or if you don't give discounts because you sell premium products, you're like, hey, here's something else I think you'd be interested in that goes along with what you just purchased. And here you're able to upsell on your own products and make more money, more revenue, and then you could put more money back into advertising. Content marketing. Let me dive a little deeper into that now. Let's say you own a car shop. You make cars. Or, listen, forget cars. Let's say you're into interior design, but you want to target businesses or customers that have a high net worth, right? They own their own home. They want to build out their home from scratch, and you're buying the pieces. How would you get to those customers? You need to put your content out there showing, hey, I'm here designing this house, designing this living room, designing this bedroom, a before and after picture, show the process. Some businesses need a personal brand. They need a face. If you own a business, sometimes your face is the business, and people come to you and are like, hey, I want to see this person do this. When they come to you, they want to book you to see the magic happen in front of them. And that is the power of building content and content marketing for your personal brand, for your business. So if you want to target offices, there's some companies that specifically, they design offices, furniture, appliance, coffee, machines, desks, you name it. So that business you could cater it and target your customer base based on that. And people will get to know you for furnishing or designing offices. So sky's the limit. You just got to make sure that you understand what your brand is, what you're going after, what you want to invoke from your customer, your potential customer, and get people to believe in what you're doing. Because if people don't believe in your brand and have faith in it, then it's pointless. But people can't believe in something they can't see. So make sure you work on building content. Some of us can't afford to hire like a company like Time Capsule Media to create like large pieces of content, do large commercials, food production commercials, run ads everywhere, and that's fine. But you need to start nonetheless. Even if you took your phone, just recorded you doing something, do a little edit, and you build your customer base up. When you get to that point where you want to expand your business, then you could reach out to a company that handles it professionally, and you could scale from there. But at that point, you would have already built your identity, or you already know what direction you want to go into. And we can't do that for you. I mean, we can have a discussion, but you need to know. Because if you don't know, we'll never get where we need to go, and you'll never get where you need to go. Now, we're going to go into social media marketing for a little bit, not touching too much on it. Now, social media marketing is way more complex than we think it is. It can be learned, and with the right time and effort put into it, it could be a skill you could develop. Posting almost every day, depending on what kind of business you have. You need to engage consistently. When people like your photos, like your videos, watch it, send them a message. Hey, saw that you like the video. Tell me what you think. Check this out. Check out our website. They comment, start a conversation in the video or in the post. Post something just to create a conversation with your customers online. Those are the things. Doing polls to see, okay, do they like this or do they like that? Creating campaigns, social media campaigns that you could run, and understanding how to target those campaigns or those that specific customers you're going after on the platforms are all the skills that you need to master. Now, I know some of us, we run a business and we don't have the time to even bother with handling all the day-to-day commenting, posting video, creating content. responding to this, creating all these different pieces of information that we put out there. And you either have to put in the time or spend the money. You could do both, but honestly, it comes down to which one you're leaning more towards. If you don't have much money, you got to put in more time. But when you start making more money, you could give up less time and you could pay someone to do it. So those are your options. But again, we'll go further into the discussion later down into this presentation. Influencer marketing. I know it's becoming a big thing right now. Everybody's on social media that's build a following, whether it be YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat. And we all know some famous faces that are out there, and we see them promote brands. And these have went from celebrities to regular individuals who just built their own following over the years. And now what you could do is, if you find an influencer who is in a niche and believes in what he believes in and uses similar products, you could reach out to them and say, hey, I wanna partner with you to promote my business, promote my product. How can we do business together? Generally, how it works is you could either pay them a fee or you could do an affiliate marketing, which we are going to go into next. And that's it. It's really simple. It's one of the easiest ways to build your business with the right partnership. Now you have to understand you need to cater to them because they don't want to disrupt their brand by partnering with you. You all must align. And once the marriage is good, then everything works. Now with affiliate marketing, it's a simple process of when customers could either come to your site or you could partner with another company and say, hey, I'm selling this product along with this company. And this is if you're a company and you sell your own products. And we have this sale, buy this and you get this. We partner together to give you this deal, this bundle. Or if you're a personal brand, you could reach out to companies and be like, hey, I do a vlog on makeup. Reach up to a makeup company and say, hey, I channel, send me some of your stuff. Link in my description so my fans could click on, and when they purchase, you get percentage of it. Simple. And the last is marketing on a mix. When you've gotten to the point, this is everything basic pilot. You've got them together, your budget, you put in, and everything automated, and it's set up in a growth mode where you know you spend on this, you know what ads, you know what customers target, and you could just move forward. Now, as we go on to the next slide, talk about content a little bit more. It's very important, and we realize that not much people really pay attention to it. And I know I'm stressed a bit, but completely necessary, especially in 2022. Your content builds trust with your customers, with your fans. If you time to really think content that you're putting out, you could ultimately harm you. See, if you believe in a planet, let's use an example, you need to make sure that you're putting out content, the fans that believe you, that your full cause, make sure that they understand, hey, my believe in green, the green planet. You need to show them that you're doing this. You need to show that you're out in the community. And even if it's not that and it's something else, let's say you're donating to a cause, you're joining a rally, your company is doing this bike-a-thon or walk-a-thon for this cause. You're just doing a pop-up just to give things out, or just to be there, have conversations with other hosts, radio hosts, blogs, podcasts. Just put yourself out there that your company is doing this and you're making things happen. That improves your awareness and builds the trust that you need to create and generate a lifetime customer. Now, I'm gonna turn this over to Alfie Simon. They're gonna go more into website and email.
Thank you, Heath. Good morning to everyone. My name is Alfie Simon, the Assistant Director of Web Development at the Time Capsule Media Group. Today, myself and my colleague Denise Hughes will be talking to you all about websites and email marketing. The topics we will cover are: what is a website, how websites affect modern businesses, the importance of having a website, updates and announcements, basic components of a website, how do I get a website, the benefits of a website, and the things to consider while building a website. So what is a website? A website is a set of related web pages located under a single domain name, typically produced by one person or an organization. What this means is a collection of what we call web pages is directed to the consumer through the online medium known as the internet. You can own your own space and then portray your business as an online entity, as well as complement your physical store. How websites affect modern businesses? Well, firstly, due to the use of the internet, websites provide global reach. Your website is accessible to anyone around the world, and it gives ability to break through geographical barriers. Once the internet is running, the user can get access to your website. Also, it helps to provide a prominent search in your online presence. As piggybacking on my colleague Heath, he mentioned about the search engine optimization. Essentially, as he said earlier, as you search for things online, whether it be services, products, parts, you name it, the search engine for whether it be Google, Bing, and other such, it then runs a checklist against things that are on your website, which pertain to what the user was searching for. And then once you've met a lot more requirements, which are like keywords, phrases, even just the images you use, then it could navigate potential clients and customers to your website. The importance. Why is having a website important? Firstly, a website shows how professional that a company can be, as well as it gives some credibility for a company in an online setting. It would be amazing if every single company that we knew of, you can find out the information of it, you can find out what products they have, services offered, even just the contact information at a click of a button, because of the access that you can get by having a website. It helps to increase brand awareness, as by breaking down the geographical barriers. Anybody in any country can see nearly any information that is on any website. Additionally, this goes very hand to hand with social media marketing. The website can be thought of as your own platform where the company has full control over what information goes on their website. They have control of the colors they use, the tone of language they use, the images, everything that is under the company's control. And lastly, since it's under the company's control, updates and announcements can happen at the blink of an eye. Updates and announcements. As mentioned before, the websites are available 24/7. So if a company was to create a new product and they weren't able to, let's say, get an ad out for the physical product, they could use their website to at least show prototypes and videos of what is to come, so that when clients come to the establishment, the client could be aware beforehand. Next, I will be handing over to my colleague Denise. She will be talking about the basic components of a website.
Good
morning. My name is Denise Hughes, and I am the Director of Website Development at Time Capsule Media Group. Let's go right on ahead and continue the conversation about website marketing. So my colleague, Mr. Simon, would have gone ahead and given you some information about what a website is and why it is important. So let's just go on ahead and talk a little bit more about what it actually takes for your website to be accessible to customers and even potential customers online. So I can imagine that when you hear about a website, the first thing that comes to mind are the web pages you see when you search for a business or a company online. However, have you ever wondered what makes it possible for you to actually see these web pages on the internet? Well, without getting too much into the technical details, let's take a quick look at the basic components of a website. And these are pages, domain, and hosting. So let's start with the one that everybody already has some idea about, and that would be web pages. So pages, simply put, pages are used to display your content on the internet and allows your customers to interact with your website. And this interaction could be through browsing services, looking at videos you would have posted, look at blogs you would have posted. And if you have an online shop enabled, then they can also make purchases on your website. Next, we have domain and hosting. So what is a domain? In essence, a domain is the name of your website's name. This is how your customers are going to find you online. So you can think about a domain name as like a fingerprint. So just like how as humans, we all have unique fingerprints, domains are the same for websites. There are no two domains that are the same. For example, you can have, let's say there's a site named documents for institutions. So if it's documents for institution with no space between, no hyphens, anything, that would be different from having the same words, for example, documents-domain.com, because the difference is the hyphen in the name. So as you can see, even though it's similar, it's still different. So all domains, all websites have a different domain name. So when you decide to develop a website for your company, if you do not already have one, it is important to remember that your domain name should be reflective of what your business does or your company's brand, so that it makes it easier for customers to remember your website, and it also gives your business credibility. Because if you're selling cakes and your domain name says pizzalove.com, it creates a disconnect. The customers would not relate cakes to pizza. So having your domain name reflect your brand or your company makes it easier for your customers to find you and remember you, and also gives you some, as we said, credibility. The last component is hosting. And simply put, this is where your website lives. So hosting is used to store all of the pages, all of the information that is displayed to your customers. So how do you get a website? There are two options. You can either learn how to create one yourself, or you can hire someone to create, and if necessary, manage it on your behalf. If you choose to create a website yourself, though, you must take into consideration that you would need the necessary skills and knowledge, and this is where an investment of time would come in. So if your business is fast-paced and it's growing fast, you may not have the time to invest to learning how to adequately produce a website that customers would find engaging and would push them to want to stick with your company and purchase your products. So the alternative would be to hire someone, for example, Time Capsule Media Group, to develop a website on your behalf. And with this option, you'll be sure that the website that is developed is engaging, friendly, and promotes your brand. Having a website offers several benefits. One of the most important ones being that it is more accessible to your customers and potential customers. As my colleague, Mr. Simon, would have already iterated, with websites, you don't have to be worried about the traditional operating hours. This is because websites are available 24/7, and persons therefore are able to go to your site and browse your offerings at any time. And in addition, having a website helps to solidify the legitimacy of your business. This is because most customers are comfortable purchasing goods and services from online businesses that have a strong online presence. So let's say, for example, you have a Facebook page, and you can link this to your website. So you can do your advertising. So this is where social media marketing comes into play. So you can advertise your products on other social media, and then you can put a link to your website where they can go ahead and get more in-depth information about the goods and services, and where possible, actually make purchases. Another benefit of having a website is that it has the potential to reduce both business operation costs and the customer acquisition costs. So in terms of business operation costs, if it's a case where you're a small business and let's say you can't really afford to have a physical location, this will reduce the need basically this will reduce the operational expenses, for example, having to pay rent, whereas you can have your website, which would be your virtual business, and you're able to advertise your products and persons are able to make purchases. So therefore, you wouldn't have all of the additional overhead costs. And in terms of customer acquisition costs, once your website is live, as we said, the information is available everywhere. Anybody around the globe are able to find you, and therefore you have a potential steady stream of customers. So now we're going to take a look at what it takes, things to consider when you're either having a website built for you or if you do decide to build one yourself. So the important considerations are design and layout, target audience, and your content. So let's start with content. So as both Mr. Simon and Mr. George alluded to, having fresh and engaging content on your site is very important because you want to attract customers. You want to put your products and lay out your products and services in such a way that entice your customers, we're going to use the word entice, to engage with you and to purchase from you. So you would have to consider the types of images, your text, etc., that are going to be displayed. And this segues right into the layout. So the layout of your content needs to be easy to view, easy to follow, because if a customer is confused, they're going to leave your website. So you need to be able to display your information in such a way that that allows organic movement from page to page, and that customers intuitively would know how to get from one page to another. And of course, very importantly, you must know who your target audience is. So based on your target audience, specific content would be created, specific design layouts would be selected in order to make sure that the persons who are visiting your site feel comfortable and would want to engage with you as their business partner. So we're going to go ahead and hand back over to Mr. Simon, who's going to talk about email marketing.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Going along with what was mentioned earlier by Mr. George, along with about email marketing is one of the oldest methods of marketing that could be used online. Not only do you now know what a website is, you now know the importance of having a website, and you even know how to get started in building a website. But did you know that email marketing could be the communication channel of your website? Email marketing has a return on investment of over 38,000%, which means which means an email can generate $30 to $38 in revenue for every $1 in ad spend. Why is this way? As clients come to your website, they can use your contact forms to then leave their contact information. And one of the most common contact information left by customers, clients, anyone that goes on websites is their email address. Using this email address, you can then create groups based on your different focal areas and then send out different campaigns, ads, even just promotional, informative information to your clients, which could then either boost the amount of clients you have or boost the amount of clients that actually engage in your company and purchase or buy your services. But one thing to remember, well, multiple things to remember. Please do not spam your users. What does this mean? Do not bombard your users with multiple emails within short time periods, because some users might deem this as a negative outlook and might stray away from your business due to the amount of emails they receive. In this modern time, please avoid trigger words. Be sensitive of your target audience, and remember that to try your best not to discriminate against anyone and choose your words carefully. Remember, even though you're trying to get a sale, maybe inform someone, please do not seem over promotional. Also, create emails based off of the customer's persona, which ties back into the earlier point of not seeming over promotional. You know your target audience, you know your product. Base your emails that can fit your target audience, boost your product, and help foster your clients to come to your organization. We will now hand over to Mr. Thomas, who will talk about social media marketing.
You're muted.
Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, my name is Edison Thomas, and I am the creative director for Time Capsule Media Group, and I'm going to tell you all a little bit about the importance of social media marketing. Social media, as we know, it plays a very important role in reaching your audience. And what is meant by social media marketing? Well, simply put, social media marketing refers to the use of social media or social media networks to market a company's product and services. This also provides companies with a variety of ways that they can engage with existing customers, as well as making new ones in that process. So simply put, gone are the days of you having a business and you just telling your neighbor or you telling your family you have a business. Now you can actually be at your home on a computer using a social media platform, and your people from around the world can know about your business. Back before, you had door-to-door salesmen. That's how they actually sell products. So it has really evolved. On to the next slide, please. Now, this also improves your brand loyalty. Now, there are several points you have to take into consideration. Engage with your customers. It is essential that you always keep a good engagement, or good relationship with the customers or consumers, as it helps you build trust with them. You also have to understand what makes them what's make them tick, how they think, how they view your product, how they view other products. Because at the end of the day, whether you want to admit it or not, you probably might get compared to another company, which will start competition. Now, keep your customers interested. Now, to do that, you have to be consistent. You can't just go on a social media platform and just put out something today and don't put on anything tomorrow, especially if you already have a certain niche of followers. You have to be consistent. Now, you have to invest in a visual representation. Now, there's an old saying that my mom always tells me, what the eyes does not admire, the heart does not desire. So in other words, if you're trying to convey your image or your brand to somebody, you have to take careful consideration on the effort and the message that you're trying to convey to them. So looking the part is very important, not just talking it. So this is where websites come into play. And you have different media platforms as well. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have YouTube, you have several different things. Now, you have to be passionate about your brand. You can't just be lackadaisical. You have to be passionate. You have to try your best to reach the audience and to make them believe in your product. So you can't just say, buy my car, we're selling cars, buy my car. You have to tell them why to buy my car, why you have to buy the car from me, what's so special about my car, and so forth. Now you have to think or focus on what you're trying to convey. That is very, very important. There are numerous and clever ways that you can reach people through the use of social media marketing. For instance, I saw a commercial the other day about a vehicle, a luxury vehicle. Now, I really didn't know at first, and not really me, but anybody looking in from the outside at first would not really understand that it's about a vehicle. Now, how they did this now, a woman was in the car and she was picking up a daughter from a recital, classical music recital, I think. So they were playing like this grand thing, like an orchestra, and the lady just chilling back and relaxing in the vehicle. So that's just an example of how to get your brand out there by use of clever marketing strategies. So social media marketing definitely plays a vital role in that. Next slide, please. Now, there are three main types of social media marketing. There's content marketing or content creating. There's also advertising, and there's influencer marketing. Now, to elaborate, content marketing has to do with the content that you're putting out on your platforms. Now, you have to be smart with this. So you can be on, let's say, Facebook, putting out content on Facebook. And at the same time, you have a link to that same content to a different media platform. So I can be on Instagram and have a link on my Instagram to my Facebook page. And on my Facebook page, I have a link to my YouTube page. You have to be smart and you have to always keep making content. Consistency, is key. Now, the other one now is advertising and sponsorship. Advertising and sponsorship is very, very, very crucial. As the old saying goes, I'm sure a lot of you all heard, it pays to advertise. So getting your brand out there is very important. So when you go on social media platforms and you see people commenting, they're clicking, they're sharing your stuff, all of this plays a very vital role for your business to grow in the long run. So you have to advertise. For instance, I'm pretty sure that y'all go on Facebook or whatever, and y'all scrolling through. And for some strange reason, like you're just seeing this specific little article, it just keep popping up. Sometimes it might be annoying, but that's just an example of advertising. Sponsorship as well go hand in hand into that, because you can have a pretty well-known sponsor, like for instance, Nike. If I have a business, let's say a clothing line, and I reach out to Nike, or they reach out to me because they probably like what I have, they can actually help sponsor my business. So that is going to be beneficial for me in the long run. Now, influencer marketing is probably, if not the most important out of the three, because we live in a day and age where everybody is heavily relying on social media, because we all know social media helps us connect to people around the world. So when you have people like influencers, these are people who are very popular, they have their own audience, they can connect with their audience, and these people normally have like a large number of audience. So let's say I have a business, and as I say, back to my old example, I just told my uncle and my aunt about it, and they just live at the back of me or whatever. I can reach out to a social media influencer who has millions of followers and subscribers, and they alone can help me propel my business to greater and higher heights. So Influencer marketing is very, very important, especially if you have the right audience. You have to make sure all of that aligned as well. So if I am in the video game industry, more than likely I'm going to reach out to a social media influencer who has like a video game channel. Next slide, please. Now, social media marketing also helps you create a richer customer experience. Social media at its core is a communication channel like email or phone calls. Every customer interaction you have on social media is an opportunity to publicly demonstrate your customer service level and also enrich your relationship with your customer. So in other words, every piece of information that you put out there is crucial. It is vital, especially if you have a large following. These people are going to be dependent on reading up about your brand and getting to know more about you. So for instance, if I only have a Facebook page and there are people that are on YouTube, but they probably haven't heard of me, I can use my Facebook page and reach them on YouTube. All of that go hand in hand in creating a richer customer experience. It's very important to get feedback from customers. It helps you understand what they like, what they don't like. So it could be a comment, it could be a share, it could be a like, because they're saying something about you, it only boosts your brand even more. Next slide, please. Now, social media marketing also offers an opportunity to convert. Now, what this means is if people don't normally buy a particular product, but let's say on a specific platform that you have, you're advertising that product, or probably the way you market the product, it might have them thinking like, I never really look at it like that, or I heard about these things, but no, I kind of like seeing how these guys doing it on their platform. I think I might give it a try. So it gives you an opportunity to convert. So you get new audience, you get new customers. Now, every blog and post and image, videos, or even a comment you share is a chance for someone to react to your brand. And every reaction could lead to a site visit and eventually a conversation. Very, very important. Conversation is very, very important. You have to be always conversing with people. You have to take that opportunity. So it could be a blog post, it could be a picture, it could be a flyer. You have to be always putting out things and keep on conversing with your audience. It only helps you build your reputation and your the character of your brand even more. So every post that you make on a social media platform serves as an opportunity for customers to further convert to your brand. This gives you access to several advantages, such as acquiring new and existing customers, as well as being able to interact with all of them. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to hand you over to Mr. George. Thanks for having me.
All right. So, question is now, where do we go from here? And that's always a question because we've given a lot of information, but three major takeaways are the things that we want you to do. Decide what marketing is best for your business. Not every business is created equal. Some of you are B2B, business to business, some are direct to consumer, and some of you all are just influencers building your personal brand only. So you need to understand that different methods work for different businesses. Like for instance, LinkedIn is more of a business to business kind of platform, or Instagram, Facebook would be more of a direct to consumer. You follow where I'm coming from? And those are just some examples. Also, create content and design your website. Again, we elaborate on creating content and make sure your
Looks like
website
he's right
matches
up
the
on his mic,
content
though.
that you are designing. Like it needs to match. You can't have a great content, but your website is lacking and it's just plain. No, everything must go hand in hand. Your brand must be cohesive all around. And of course, be consistent with your marketing and reaching out to your customer base.
Excuse me, Mr. George. Could you speak up a little, please? The
Can you hear me?
volume is very low.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your volume's very low.
Can you hear me now?
Much better, thank you.
Okay, great. I was saying, should I go back or continue?
No, go ahead.
All right. So I'm saying be consistent with your marketing and reaching out to your customer base. Your customers need to trust you, they need to believe in you, and you have to consistently put content out there and reaching out to your fan base, your customer base. They need to know that you're out there. You send something, you send an email out saying, hey, let's say hi, we have this coming out, check out our new product. If you're not consistent, the time span of human beings is getting shorter and shorter every day and every year. So you got to keep in people's face as much as you can. Some of you are, when your marketer needs to be printing some stuff and handing it to businesses, or going and seeing them and talking to them, having that conversation, follow-up calls. All these are different forms of marketing. They're not digital, but reaching out to your customer and just being consistent with them is definitely important. And that's the last thing I want to make sure you guys do. If you guys don't do anything else, those 3 things you mentioned, focus on those things. Now, here's our contact information. You can reach out to us. Our phone number, 813-334-1773. Our email is info@timecapsule-mediagroup.com. You check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or you can check out our website, www.timecapsule-mediagroup.com. You can see us there. You can check out all the services that we offer. And we thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us. And we're glad to share some knowledge to you. Now, again, we also want to thank SBDC for Small Business Development Center for putting this together, inviting us and giving us the opportunity, and for all the work that they continue to do every year, all year round. And continue to support. And if you need their services, you need information, they're the people you go to because they're there to help. Now I think we get into the fun part, is questions and answers. So if you guys
Okay.
have any questions, hit us up.
Okay, thank you, Mr. George. The SBDC has so much more in store for the USVI small business community. Visit our webpage at www.visbdc.org. Download the VISBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google My Business, and subscribe to the VISBDC YouTube channel for new uploads for our videos on demand. We have some upcoming webinars on Tuesday, May the 24th. We have disaster preparedness with SBA. We have accessible web designs on May 25th. We have fundamentals of business credit on May 26th. And then we have an entrepreneurial workshop series with the AARP every Wednesday from the 1st of June through the 29th of June. So join us for that. So now we'll go with questions and answers question and answer segment with Mr. George and his team. If you have any questions, you can submit them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and you can address them online. Any questions? Wow. Well, I learned a lot, Mr. George. Some of the questions I had that were really confusing in your presentation, you guys were able to clear things up for me very, very well, and I really appreciate that. And apparently you were able to do that for our audience as well. I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't see any hands raised. Awesome, awesome. So on behalf of the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center Network, I want to thank you and your team at Time Capsule Media Group for providing us an awesome presentation. Again, the presentation was streamed live on Facebook, and it will be available on our YouTube channel. And if you would like a copy of the presentation, please send us an email at info@visbdc.org. Thank you all for joining us today, and have a wonderful weekend.